Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to Game 2 between Team Liquid and Na'Vi in the Grand Finals of the ESL 1 Germany 2020 online tournament. Say that any quicker if I can. But Na'Vi, they had a little bit of a rough showing in that previous game. Liquid just manhandled them the entire time and just didn't give any space for Na'Vi to get back into the game at all. So we'll see if maybe Na'Vi swap some things up and going to come into this game with a little bit of a fresh perspective, perhaps. We'll see what they're able to do. But they're leading up with the Lone Druid ban, which is, I'm surprised they didn't do last game. But Liquid didn't choose to punish it that time. But they'll ban it out first this time. Liquid banning out the Doom. Always an annoying hero to play with, especially in the hands of Iceberg. He does like to play this hero quite a lot. And Na'Vi get rid of that pesky eye that we saw last game in the hands of Tiger. Just paired up with the Slardar or Boxy, it was so damn potent. They are going to grab the Phoenix as their first pick again. We'll see if maybe Liquid are going to do a very similar sort of play as well and just take the Rubik as their first grab. And it's quite difficult for Na'Vi to second pick the Mars, because if they second pick the Mars, Liquid, they'll just pick the Lifestealer straight away. So there is that slight advantage for the side of Liquid in that respect. But Liquid are actually going to go with the Oracle. Na'Vi banned it out last game. This game they don't, and Liquid snapped that up straight away. So this will be their 8th Oracle game, currently 5-2 on it. So it's definitely one of their preferred supports to play. It's that sort of hero where you have to go for him first, otherwise it's just impossible to get any kills onto the actual cores of side Liquid. So in saying this, is going to be playing miles back. No one to get involved in the fights right in the front lines at all. Na'Vi are going to snap up the Beastmaster for the hands of General in the off lane. Definitely a good hero to start snowballing with if his lane goes well. And Liquid actually just going to grab the Sven as their position 1. So there's not any of those sort of like really annoying supports that the Beastmaster hates playing up against, like an Enchantress, a Chen, or a Crystal Maiden. So the balls will still be able to do quite a bit of work in this early portions of the laning phase. So it might make it quite not super difficult for Mickey to actually farm up on the Sven, but definitely going to be making it a lot more annoying for him than it ideally would like to be for the Sven. Na'Vi ban out the Slardar. Do not want the repeat of last game. And then Liquid take out the Faceless Void. So we'll see if Na'Vi are going to probably ban out the Storm Spirit again like they did in the last game. They ban out the Void, which is a hero that Boxy likes to pick up. So the Void Spirit can also just jump straight to the back lines and try and disable the Phoenix. Very similar to what the Storm Spirit will be able to do. So we'll see if Na'Vi are going to decide to ban him out once more. If not, could definitely see that getting picked up for the hands of Koifer for the mid lane. I mean, so far it wouldn't be a terrible pick for the side of Na'Vi either. Definitely, you know, you can go straight back onto that Oracle before you can get the False Promise out and try and bring him down. So we'll see if maybe that's Na'Vi's game plan. They're going to ban out the Timbersaw. So if they abandon out a Timber Saw, it sort of lets Liquid know that Na'Vi are going to be planning to go for a like a melee strength core, generally. So those are the main types of hero that struggle against the Timber in the early portions. So maybe Na'Vi might be going for something like a Life Stealer, perhaps, or a Spectre again. Maybe even a PL. Yeah, PL might not do too badly. Well, I mean, just for the fact that the Timber Saw does a really good, just shuts down the PL pretty hard. Seems out all of his skills are AoE, so it's pretty easy to find the real hero amongst all the illusions. So let's see if that's potentially what they might go for. We're going to grab the Tusk. Very potent in the hands of a Tiger. Always able to do those snowball saves if anyone on the side of Liquid are in any tough position. Also good at applying a bit of pressure onto the early portions of the game as well in the off lane. So maybe we'll see what pickup Liquid are going to go to pair with that for the hands of Boxy.
I didn't write this one, he wrote this one, I don't understand.
Could potentially see a Mars for the side of Liquid. So I think the spear does work with the ice shards from Tusk. So as long as if Tiger manages to actually get someone locked in with those ice shards, it's a really easy target for the Mars to just pin them to the wall. So now we're going to grab the Venge. So this could potentially be a core Venge. You tend to see a Venge in like the position 5 role, but they've already got Always Wanna Fly's Phoenix, and he is the main one who plays that hero. I think Roger can play it, but it does always tend to fall into that position 5 role for the side of Na'Vi. So we might see this Venge in the hands of Roger as the pos 4. But Liquid's actually going to grab the Enigma. It is pretty flexible on the side of Liquid. They can put it into the hands of Boxy or Tiger. But we'll probably just see it in the hands of Boxy for the offlane, seeing as the Tusk's already picked up. And then Na'Vi are actually going to grab the Drow. So they will have that Gust swap as well from Venge, Raw from the Beastmaster. So there is a fair few things that can actually cancel out this black hole. So it's not going to be the freest Enigma game in the world, that's for sure. But there is still the Snowball from Tusk and the Sven Stormhammer when he gets his Zags to easily be able to get on top of this Drow. So there's going to be a lot of pressure and a lot of weight onto the shoulders of the Venge to keep the Drow safe, to keep swapping him back. But the Venge and the Drow should have a relatively simple start to their laning phase. The damage that the Drow can do from the range can definitely bring those Eidolons down relatively easy. So you have to be a little bit careful about how the Enigma does position the Eidolons. So it's most likely just the mid hero left for the side of Na'Vi, and likewise for the side of Liquid. So Liquid, I still think a Storm Spirit would be pretty good, especially seems how the Storm will also be able to zip straight on top of that Drow now. Sure, he could potentially get caught out by the Gust or even the Roar from the Beastmaster. So maybe it's potentially too risky to go for that. But for the side of Na'Vi, like as I was saying earlier, they've got plenty of abilities to actually cancel out the black hole, from Enigma, so they haven't got to worry about that. They've got the fair amount of damage that will be coming out from the Drow Ranger as well. So it's not like they desperately need a pick to fill out an empty hole that is in their draft at the moment. They've got quite a well-rounded build so far. Liquid banned out the Nature's Prophet and the Shadow Fiend, so definitely two heroes that could just ramp up a lot of range damage, especially getting the combo with the Drow. So maybe Na'Vi might go for something like a Visage, perhaps. Be able to benefit from the auras coming out from the Venge and the Drow. No, they're actually just going to grab the Tiny instead. So this will be an Iceberg Tiny. And Liquid, they are going to go for that Storm Spirit. So there is a good couple of targets for that Koifa can focus down. Either be the Phoenix or V-Tune.
Normally.
But yes, as I was saying earlier, Koifa is going to have to be careful that he doesn't just overextend and put himself into a really tough position. And Liquid, they actually put Tiger as the Enigma, so it's a core Tusk. So they have to start coming online pretty earlier. You tend to see with the side of Tiger, the side of Liquid, that more often than not they'll just sort of leave Tiger in the off lane on his own, even if he's getting punished quite hard. And they'll just keep trying to apply a lot of pressure onto the other side of the map. So we'll see if maybe they're going to do that again. Boxy, Mickey, and Sadia might be trying to do an aggressive tri-lane and make the beginning part of this game really hard for V-Tune. Especially seems that for the early portions, Boxy will have that snowball, so it will be a quick, easy way to get on top of this Drow during the laning phase. For the mid lane, Koifa probably have an alright start. We'll need to get a little bit careful once Iceberg reaches around level 3 to 5. That's when his burst damage is starting to get amplified a bit. But it's not like there's any sort of big stun rotations that be coming out from the side of Na'Vi. There's the Venge that could rotate around, but generally the Venge needs to be hugging that Drow to keep her as safe as possible, because a Drow is to sit and duck for any sort of movements that be coming out from the side of Liquid. So we'll have to be careful in that respect. So, looks like the entirety of Liquid, they've done a smoke up instantly and they're moving straight towards the Radiant jungle. Maybe thinking about trying to go for a first blood here, see if they find anyone out. It looks like Always Want to Fly will probably be the one they run into first. That being said, Iceberg's also moving around. He's just warding up. But Boxy, he spots how Always Want to Fly. He's got the Ice Shards and he completely locks Always Want to Fly in. This is going to be a first blood going towards Liquid for sure. Let's see who actually gets the last hit. And it even goes towards Mickey. So already, really nice start there for the side of Liquid. And they'll all just fall back now, go to their respective lanes. Doesn't look like they're going to try any sort of aggressive tri-lane. Mickey and Insania are both heading back towards top. My bad, just realised I still had the music going. It was sort of working there. So it looks like it'll just be a 2-for-2 bounty trade. Mickey and Insania are going to be able to get up here in time to stop the Roger from getting these two. So, but even still, there's the first blood going towards Liquid. See what did Mickey buy? It just went straight for a magic stick and an extra mango. Mango? Tango? Mango. Who's mango? Mango. So see what they're able to do against General and Roger, sorry. He'll probably be able to do a pretty good job of stalling out Mickey's farm. Oh, but Boxy has actually rotated around, so they're actually going for a defensive tri-lane instead of an aggressive tri-lane. It still looks like they're going to be after trying to apply a bit of pressure, and it is just Tiger left alone down bottom. But this is definitely not the easiest lane for him at all. This V-Tunes alone is able just to zone him out pretty damn easily. I don't think Liquid really mind too much, just as long as Tiger still gets his level 6. Hopefully not too bad of a timing. We are in the mid lane. Do see a slight advantage towards Iceberg at the moment. But Koifer is level 3 now. Able to supply a little bit more pressure. We've got top Boxy and Insane. You actually managed to get the first blood onto Roger. General needs to be pretty careful now himself. He's all alone up here. So maybe Insane and Boxy are going to keep trying to hunt him down. General's just he's in full hiding mode. He's just gone all the way behind the tier 1 tower. And he will just pop out the back. Interesting movements there. Nice charge, a little bit off the mark there for Boxy. So the board does manage to survive. But even still, this is just absolute free farm down bottom for V-Tune. Senior Boxy, they're trying to apply a little bit of pressure onto General. Will be the Fate's Edict, hold him in place. Ice Shards are up in a couple of seconds. Looks like Mickey was thinking about trying to rotate round, but decides against it. Ice Shards finally come out there from Boxy. They're still applying a lot of pressure here onto General. He's taking a lot of damage from this. And with the Fate's Edict and the Purifying Flames, there's enough damage to bring on. Plus the tag team now coming out. Roger, still not level 2, so he doesn't even have the flight available, but he just manages to survive. The fog from the trees gives him just the space he requires to make the space. But even still, this is Boxy and Insania applying so much pressure that it's also giving Mickey a complete free farm up top. Boxy's even rotate around to the mid lane. Ice Shard's a little bit off the mark, but Iceberg's still getting pretty damn low. He is bottling up. Here's enough just to make Boxy turn around. So Boxy just sort of playing that position 4 kind of role. Tiger, despite the fact that he's alone against Avenge and a Drought, he's not doing too horrendously, to be honest. 10 and 9. I mean, I'm sure a large portion of those denies are his own Eidolons. But even still, it's definitely not going as bad as it could be. I think when they when Liquid tried this similar lineup against Liquid Secret the other day, they had a much rougher time. Meanwhile, Koifer making a move onto Iceberg in the mid lane. Oh, the Ice Charge just off the mark there from Boxy, and the uphill miss as well from Koifer. It keeps Iceberg alive, just barely. Super close, nearly falling, but even still, that move from Boxy is forcing Iceberg to go all the way back to base. Koifer even able to just bottle up a double damage. And the bounties are up in 30 seconds. We'll see if maybe Liquid are going to try and play aggressively onto the other side of the map and maybe try and take away Na'Vi's bounties. It was still 28 to 21 for Mickey. Absolute monstrous amount of denies. And as a result of that, despite the fact that they were in a tri-lane for the beginning parts of this game, he's still like a level and a half over the top of General. So this is going to be a perfect game so far for the side of for Mickey. Insane is getting pressured in the mid. Meanwhile, looks like Koifu and Iceberg having a little tiff. Not much can happen there, but Roger and everyone, they're keeping the pressure going forwards onto Insania. Mickey's actually rotated around. Looks like he's going to go for the easy kill of Roger. He's already used his dive, so he can't escape from this. Even Insane to get the kill on a killing spree. This is going to be a very, very wealthy position 5, despite the fact he only has one last hit. He's not too wealthy, but he has the same farm as General. Well, General did. General just always flied up to the top there. But even still, General was having a really rough time. Only got a Windlace and a Bracer, and 6 last hits at 6 minutes in. 1 last hit a minute. Definitely not the score that you'd be after. And looks like Boxy's just rotating straight back around middle, trying to apply a bit of pressure onto Iceberg. But again, the Ice Shard just a little bit off the mark. And it gives Iceberg enough room to be able to just fall back. But once again, that's another rune going towards Koifa. Iceberg getting pressured again up top. It's Mickey and Insania laying into him. And there's another kill for Insania. 4-0-1. Man's got a lot of involvement so far. Been there for every single kill. Even has most of them himself. Roger's rotating around bottom. Maybe thinking they want to try and get a kill onto Tiger. Make something happen somewhere on this map for the side of Na'Vi. Because as we saw in the previous game, Liquid are just starting to get away with it now. Vichun is at the top of the CS chart though, so he's having a pretty free game himself. But even still, it just feels like Na'Vi, they just want something a little bit extra, something to keep their spirits going and keep the morale in the team. So far, they're getting ronked by an Oracle. And that's just insult to injury. Proper rub salt in the wound there. Well, Black Hole committed by Tiger. They get a grab onto Vichun. Koifu even rotates around, so that's kill onto Vichun. The game gets worse. Always Want to Fly gets caught out by Boxy as well. Iceberg and Roger have rotated around, maybe thinking of trying to get something to happen here. Looks like Iceberg will actually get the kill onto Boxy, but there's already haste rune on Koifu and he just runs away. So it ends up being a quick 2-for-1 trade there for the side of Liquid. It even forces a rotation back from Iceberg, and all they get is the kill on Boxy, who is pretty much just a support at this rate. And with that space, Mickey and Insane get another kill up top. Insane ironic. Oh, a mega kill at the moment. 5-0-1. Just no matter where you look across the map now, it's just looking in favour of Liquid. I mean, it was going quite well down bottom for Na'Vi before that happened, but good black hole usage from Tiger and the rotations from Koifa, just slowing down Vichun's game. Going for that first item of the Hurricane Pike. Definitely a good way to try and make him create a little bit of space between him and the rest of Liquid. But even still, if he uses that 4-staff to try and get away, Koifa can just keep following him by zipping on top. But again, from the side of Liquid, absolute monsters when it comes to stacking. Yeah, again, this is like a quad stack in both of these creep camps that Insania just keeps on making. It's just free food for Koifa and Mickey. It looks like the rest of Na'Vi, they're rotating around. They do not want to let Liquid carry on getting these stacks. General's rotating around, but he's still not even level 6. There's nothing he can really do. Iceberg's rotating around. Looks like they might get a grab onto Boxy, but the Ice Shards is pushing him back a little bit. Stun comes out from Mickey there. Looks like Boxy's trying to stand his ground, knowing he's just going to fall anyway. Na'Vi just keeping the pressure going now. But Koifu's back, 4 HP, 4 mana. They're going to just position themselves to make sure they're guaranteed to get all these creep camps. Koifu's going to spy Always Want to Fly, and he needs to be careful. In fact, he's just dead. Koifu actually getting the last hit there. I thought Mickey was going to get out with the Stormhammer. But this game is just getting more and more into the realms of Liquid's back pocket. Koifa keeping the pressure going. Oh, zips a little bit over the mark there from General. Flies straight past him. Even still, knockdown comes from Insania with the Edict. This is another kill going towards Koifa here. 4-0. And Insania's 5-0. This is a really super game from Liquid so far. Even Koifa got his first Oblivion Staff online. 1,000 gold as well. Finish towards getting the Orchid. He's only about 1,000 gold away finishing it himself. So that's going to be a super early timing on this Orchid. But Iceberg in general, they smoked up. They finally have the Roar available, so hoping to find Koifa here. He is walking back close to him. There is a ward available though, so we'll see the smoke break and he's just immediately going to zip out of there. Completely dodges that gank. Without a Blink Dagger available for Iceberg, it's just so easy for Liquid to dodge those sort of engagements. Especially when the one they're engaging on is actually Koifa. Iceberg's actually TPing down bottom. The Avalanche comes out, it actually keeps Roger's egg alive. And they will get the kill onto target for it. It looks like Boxy's going to fall as well. So finally Na'Vi finds something across this map. Good rotations from Iceberg. Just keeps that egg alive and manages to turn around that entire situation. Top, Koifa making the move straight onto General. He does have the Roar available. There's no help here just yet, so no point committing it. Another kill going towards Koifa. And I think only 175 gold and he's finished his Orchid. The map is just going to get an even scarier place now for the side of Na'Vi. We are Mickey just happily farming up. Just no matter where Insania is, no matter what creep camp it is, he's always making stacks. Man is a stacking god. General's just now had to go down to the bot lane. Try and find any sort of space he can. Vitun's finally got a Dragon Lance online. But, I mean, he's got a Dragon Lance. Koifa's now got an Orchid though. Mickey's got an Echo Saber and a Mask of Madness. About 1,000 gold over the top of Vitun. So it doesn't look like they could want to try and apply too much pressure with this Orchid already available. Maybe thinking that they don't really need to try and make anything happen across this map. They know they're ahead, so they can just keep building off of that lead, perhaps. Or maybe he's just waiting for the right person to step out of line. I think Blink Dagger finally going to be online for Iceberg now. So see what he's able to do with that. Oh, meanwhile down bottom. Looks like Foxy and Tiger managed to get the kill onto General there. Did they use Black Hole? They didn't even have to use Black Hole. This General is really having a rough time. Really having a rough time. He's working towards that Solar Crest, but so far all he's got is Medallion. Vitun's moved up to the top lane to try and farm. So we'll be in Koifa's in position to try and maybe make a move happen. See if anyone else beside Liquid are going to rotate up. They didn't try making any sort of moves. Vitun's able to clear up the tier 1 on his own. So just a little bit of extra gold. Na'Vi will take absolutely anything they can get at this point. Another 3 bounties going towards Liquid. Just keeping their lead going. I'm quite surprised that Koifer's not tried to make any moves so far with this Orchid online. He had it at a pretty decent timing. So I would have thought he would have been trying to abuse that fact, but he's just playing it pretty chill. Hurricane Pike now online for V-Tune. So he does have a nice little bit of survivability now. Boxy finds the grab on to always want to fly. Quick zip in there from Koifer, and he just disappears. V-Tune's actually rotated around, doing quite a bit of damage onto Boxy, but Koifer's just going to chuck the Orchid. Blink forward from Iceberg, gets the grab onto Koifer. It's actually enough damage to bring him down. 5 kill streak going towards Iceberg. Big chunk of gold going into the Rockman's stony pockets. And you realise this Boxy's still around here somewhere. Blink's the wrong way though. Boxy actually heading down. Oh, I think V-Tune just spotted him out though. Nice ice shards, keeping him back. There is that Hurricane Bite, making enough space. Looks like Boxy's going to end up falling here as well. He couldn't even get the punch off. Too many stuns. So again, no, nice 2 quick kills coming out from Na'Vi. Always want to fly, just being that tasty position 5 bait. Puts Koifer into a dodgy situation. But Mickey's just been off farming. It's got an Aegis now. Aegis and Aghanim is now available. Even Tiger got a Crimson Guard up. Definitely going to help the rest of his team survive against the auto attacks coming out from the Drow. Looks like maybe Mickey's going to want to start getting involved. Now he has this big item available. Looking like they thought they were going to get a quick kill on Iceberg there, but unfortunately not. So Vici working towards the first item of his Manta style. It's not like there's any big abilities to purge off apart from the Orchid that's going to be coming out from Koifer. So we'll have that advantage, but Liquid, they've done a smoke cut, they moved straight into the Radiant Triangle, but unfortunately they don't find anyone actually here. The rest of Na'Vi will bail towards their own jungle. And they're just going to hold their side of the lane. Not always across this little no man's land at the moment. Looks like Mickey's trying to whack Beatty. But he's super tough now, 2.6k HP. Really farmed. Jump forward there from Mickey. Finds always want to fly. The avalanche comes out just to stall him. But Koifer just quickly zips in, finishes the kill. Meanwhile, General just using the space, just trying to pad out his farm a little bit and actually get an item online. He's only 100 gold now, away from finishing up his Soda Crest. So it would be a nice little power spike timing for him. Iceberg thinking of making the move onto Koifer. Doesn't actually jump straight onto him though. Making a move for those bounties instead, but he actually doesn't get engaged on. He's all alone. There is a lot of Liquid heroes around. Finally, Roger trying to dive in and lend a little bit of assistance, but nowhere near enough. In a 4v1 situation, it's always best to bet on the 4. An instant spook up now from Liquid. Looks like they're running towards the top lane. Want to get a grab onto General now as well. Koifer zipping forwards. We'll find him into the trees. Insania is here to lend a helping hand as well when he actually gets close enough. But Boxy's now out of mana. And with the ball slows coming out, but the vision is there. Insania gets another kill. An unstoppable spree. 6-0 and 6. Even finds a lucky bounty rune to pick up as well. But V2 doesn't always want to fly and rotate around. It looks like Insania is finally going to drop quite a large chunk of money going into the hands of V2 there. A lot of damage onto Koifer as well. I think they realise he's still here. There's no wave of terror for a couple more seconds to actually scout him out. But it looks like Always Want to Fly is going to be the one in the dire situation now. Boxy just rolls forward. He will just be an easy kill, but the rest of Na'Vi, they're still here. It could be a nice double jump from Iceberg. He actually jumps straight onto Koifer, going towards that final hit in the back. The Crimson Guard comes out, and it's just enough protection to keep Koifer alive. Black Hole's committed as well, just to keep Iceberg held back, but the silence comes out for V-Tune to completely cancel it out. Tiger's going to fall. It looks like Boxy's going to die as well. He's still alive though. Mickey gets involved, pops his God Strength, and that's this Iceberg gone in a second. But really, 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 really nice Crimson Guard there from Tiger. Manages to keep Koifer alive. And the big jump forward there from Mickey. Proper Superman and across the lane. And Rogers just melted. So it was a couple of kills for the side of Na'Vi, a couple of kills for Liquid as well, so a little bit of back and forth. But I still think that was favouring Liquid, purely for the fact that Koifer did actually manage to survive that situation. Looks like V-Tune's finally going to have his Man Star finished. No, he's still about 400 gold away. Just hasn't got the recipe queued up for some reason. So how close is Koifer to this Bloodstone? He's still about 1,500 away from it. The entirety of Liquid, they're all grouped up, maybe thinking they're going to move into the Roshan. But Na'Vi's done the same. They've already smoked up and going into the pit themselves. They will know that someone's up here, and Sanu just killing the Hawk from General. So they realise that there are a few members of Liquid in the area. Hawk comes out, see who they can find. So Koifer just dodging it in time, so he actually gets away. But they know it's fresh, those corpses were still there. But they don't want to just push forward into the jungle without any sort of deeper vision. They want to go walking into a trap. But Liquid have already moved into the pit. Pop the God Strength for Mickey, and it should be pretty quick. When's the next Hawk available? Only for another 5 seconds. The Wave of Terror does actually spot Boxy, so Na'Vi now do know this is going on. Liquid is going to dive straight out. They find V-Tune in the back lines. They can move on to them straight away. Mickey gets committed, but nice swap out there for Always Want to Fly, keeping V-Tune alive. Always going to Fly is going to pay with his life, but even still, V-Tune's getting pretty low. Koifer will finally bring him down. The egg is up. It gets scrambled. And there's even the false promise onto Koifer as well, just to make sure he's not going down. Iceberg gets the return kill onto Insania, but it's just the position 5. It does not matter. The entirety of Na'Vi is going to fall for this. He's going for the TP out. Oh, the Malefice just in time for the Tiger. Cancels it. And that's a full 5-man T-wipe. Go into the side of Liquid. And all they lose is Insania. And out come the taunts. Lockhart Matatag. Now 11k gold lead for the side of Liquid. Big XP swings, big gold chain swings. I mean, sure, Insania bought back, but who cares? Who cares? So now Aegis into the hands of Mickey as well. I would have thought they probably would have put the Aegis into the hands of Koifer, because I don't see Mickey really dying. He's got BKB, God Strength and everything, the lifesteal as well on top. I think Koifer's definitely more of a vulnerable target, but they choose to put it onto him anyway. But there is now the Bloodstone finished up for Koifer as well. Again, just like game 1, this is looking super rough for Na'Vi. I think the one position that's really doing better for the side of Na'Vi in comparison to Liquid side is the Phoenix. But even still, Koifer and Tiger, Boxy, sorry, they found an easy pick off onto Always Want to Fly there, and he's just gone in a second. First tier 2 of the game falling down. And Liquid, they're just going to keep their pressure going. They realise how strong they are. All of their ultimates are now available. Aegis still on Mickey. Going to go straight onto that tier 3. Immediate pop of the glyph there. But Liquid pop their own just to keep this creep wave alive so the back door protection doesn't come up. Navi's all positioned around to see if they want to try and defend this. They're applying a lot of damage onto Mickey. It looks like his first life might fall, but no, he's still kept alive. The jump forward onto V2, he tries to escape, but it's not enough. The egg finally comes out, but General already falls. He commits the roll first. Egg gets the lead before it can actually come off there. It looks like Boxy will fall for this, but the rest of Liquid just in full retreat now. They've got 2 kills and forced out 2 buybacks. That's enough. They still even got the Aegis in hand. Looks like they're trying to get a kill onto Tiger. Na'Vi will finally be able to find something out of this. So it ends up being a 2-for-2 trade, but it's half the HP onto the tier 3, and it forces 2 buybacks on the side of Na'Vi. So Na'Vi will take that. Sure, it's not the biggest victory in the world, but they pushed Liquid off, and there was a slight little gain in gold from those uses. AC now online for Mickey, even tankier. 6k above the farm of V-Tune. Koifa trying to find General. He gets pretty close to the zip, but he doesn't actually zip far enough. And General's actually able just to slip away. Looks like perhaps Liquid are just going to go for another push on this tier 2. They are all grouping up around it, so it looks like they're just going to go for another go. Again, that was 2 buybacks used up for the side of Na'Vi. Egg's still on cooldown for 15 seconds, but there's still the black hole available for Liquid. And they're just going to rinse repeat. Jump in straight from Boxy onto V-Tune. Swap out comes always one applies, give him a little bit of space. Mickey jumps forward, but he gets rolled up. Force Promise comes out though to cancel out the stun. Boxy's getting silenced up and he's getting hit down by V-Tune. But Mickey jumps straight towards the back again. BKB pop. Looks like V-Tune's going to fall pretty quickly. The egg comes out. No one from the side of Liquid's going to bother trying to focus it down. It will eventually pop. Always when it flies falls as well. 2 kills from the side of Liquid. Roger falls down as well. Another buyback coming out. But even so, it's still a black hole available. It's Liquid, they're not having to expend any of their big stuff and they're just getting so much out of these fights. Na'Vi just going to lose their first racks of the game, but luckily enough for them. But Liquid is going for the tier 4s. I would have thought they might have fallen back, but there's still no V-Tune for 40 seconds or a Roger. And with the black hole still available, why not keep this pressure going? Jump forward for Boxy. Does a lot of damage onto Always Want to Fly. He's getting really low. And Boxy alone is enough to bring him down. Iceberg trying to make a cute play onto Boxy, tosses him back towards the pit. And it is actually enough damage to bring him down. And that's enough for Liquid to start falling back now. They take away one of the tier 4s. But V-Tune's up in 10 seconds. Not wanting to overstay their welcome, but even still, just huge amounts of space being made. And they still didn't use the black hole. Like, I think it's just the threat of the black hole in this situation is more potent than the actual black hole itself. Because as long as the black hole isn't used, I suppose General sort of feels like he has to keep his raw available. But even without the raw, you've still got the avalanche cancel, the venge swap and stun, plus the silence from the drow. But with all the chaos going on, a lot of these skills have already been used. Tiger's not even going to bother with going for the BKB. Just going for that Lincoln Sphere. The only thing he fears apparently is the raw. $21 Bloodstone charges for Koifa. Working towards his BKB. In fact, he's just got it. Instantly buys it out. It'll be even harder to lock this man down. So Na'Vi, we're moving up towards the top lane. Maybe they just want to try and bait out V-Tune perhaps, or just making sure there's the full squad behind him to provide him enough assistance just in case Liquid do just all dogpile him. It's like Boxy, he actually runs straight into Iceberg, he gets caught out by the punch. Iceberg's going to pop the BKB to try and stand his ground. But there's still a lot of physical damage just coming through this raw. It's going to lock down Mickey, but it just gets cancelled again by the Force Promise. Finally, a black hole comes out to 3, caught by everyone. Tiger just gets annihilates them all. V-Tune's on full retreat. He's going to fall. No buyback on anyone. And Na'Vi tap out again. Liquid are just on a mad one, I swear. They're just so dominant lately. This is a real threatening team as of late. But well played, Team Liquid. Take game 2. Na'Vi's really up against the back wall now. They're going to be trembling in their boots. They got to take this 3 games in a row in order to win this tournament. Liquid, I think they're just having fun now. We may see some sort of wacky picks or something coming out from Liquid in this next one. Maybe we want to try and be a little bit experimental if they're getting cocky with it. But I imagine they're just going to keep a level head, keep playing the way they are, and I just don't think there's anything Na'Vi can do to counter it. I think Na'Vi is stuck in their own heads now. I think their lineup was fine. It's just Liquid, are just able to out-execute them every single time. It just feels like they're slightly more coordinated and really know how to work around each other. And I think the big key is Insania's ability just to stack like an absolute demon. Because, I mean, at the start, Koifa and Mickey, both these 2 heroes that have the AoE abilities to be able to farm up stacks really easily. So quad stacks just go down so quick, and this is a massive cash injection into these 2 cores, and it just makes them come online so much quicker. And they're able to apply lots more pressure across the map and just start snowballing away. But that is game 2 between Team Liquid and Na'Vi. Good, obviously taking it in very dominant fashion yet again. Hopefully we'll see Na'Vi rally, think of something new, try and just take a little breather. And yeah, hopefully game 3 will be an exciting one, and Na'Vi try and make a good showing for it. So hopefully I'll see you guys then.